So what do you want to talk about today?
Let's talk about these little abbreviations that sometimes we run into in
Oh,
writing, and
yes,
even if
yes,
you're not
yes.
using it, maybe for comprehension's sake, we
Yeah,
can talk about them.
yeah. I've had so many people misuse these abbreviations from Latin. I'm not going to give you the Latin; it's not important.
Oh, come
But
on,
no,
John. Come on.
no. So I period E period means only that is. That is.
Mhm.
Okay. I period E period. That is.
It's id est, by the way, in Latin. I wrote it down.
Okay. Good for you.
I.e.
You know,
Can you go
uh,
back and retroactively improve my grade based
uh,
on?
no, no, I can't go any lower. And then EG, constantly confused with IE. EG
Yeah.
means for example.
I don't know
For
what that one
example.
is either. I'd tell you. But
Okay. But anyway, you need to know because people
for example,
really,
so IE is that
that
is.
is, yeah, yeah. And E period, G period is for example.
So when would you use IE in a sentence, or people use it when in restating something typically, or what?
Sure. Like you could clarify, there are many, I'll use EG, there are many dogs that I like, parentheses, capital E, no, lowercase e period, lowercase g period, comma, um, collies, German shepherds, Irish wolfhounds, Komondors. That is, it's an elaboration.
Grammar
Yeah,
dogs,
grammar dogs, of
and
course.
Mimis.
Yeah, Mimis and Olivers, Oscars.
Oscar, yeah,
And
grammar
then
dog.
the other one that I really like, and I use it a lot. A lot of people don't, but I use capital N, capital B. There used to be periods. Now there's no more periods. In B,
Okay.
and then I do period. Or oftentimes for overemphasis, I use an exclamation mark after in B, and it means nota bene, note well. This is important.
Okay.
And so
You know what
capital
I
N,
thought it
capital
meant?
B. What?
I thought it meant no biggie, like it wasn't a big deal.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
Right. So it means the exact opposite of what I thought.
Yeah,
Or I
this is
thought, here's another thing I thought, and this is a little more erudite than no biggie, because that was really dumb. In German, you can say something nebenbei. It's one word, and there's no capital thing. It's just nebenbei, and it means sort of neben means next to, and bei means with. So it'd be kind of an aside, as an aside. So I honestly thought NB, capital NB, meant like it was something that wasn't all that important, but it's interesting, and I'll mention it. And I was 100% wrong. So
well,
NB,
nota bene. Note
nota
this
bene,
well.
God. And the other one I'm going to add is, and I don't see it too often, but you will see it in writing. And by the way, as a writer, EG is pretty useful. IE is pretty useful. The nota bene NB is, you'll see it a lot less. You'll see a lot of EGs, a lot of IEs, not so many NBs, and you're not going to see a lot of Viz's either. It's
Never use it.
VIZ.
Never use it.
But I see it, so we're going to cover it, and it's videlicet. That's straight from the American Heritage Dictionary that may be on my screen to my right. And it means that is or namely. It's also used to introduce examples, lists, items. So it'd be very much, the reason probably we don't see it is it's the same damn thing as IE from a functional perspective. So got it. So
I like,
no?
I use, well, if I'm going to use, I've never used viz in my life, but I always use to wit, comma, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, and then explain it. So it means
Yeah.
it's basically, is namely,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
wit,
Or
WIT.
just, right. Or for example, that works too.
Yeah, e.g.
You know?
Mhm.
Or if you can, there are many types of dogs that I like. Colon, grammar dogs, Mimis, Commodores,
Yeah.
Puggles, whatever. I mean, you don't even need one of those things. But again, it can be useful for stylistic variation, or
Absolutely.
it's a very clear note to the reader. Okay, after I see this, yeah.
Punctual variation.
What's that?
Punctual variation is also
Punctual variation.
part of
Yeah.
stylistic variation. I mean, you use
Yeah.
it correctly, which surprises me.
Yeah.
You use a colon at the end of a complete sentence to introduce a list or an elaboration or an explanation.
Yeah.
And
so,
by the
yeah.
way, if it's the start of a independent clause, you can capitalize it, uppercase it. Whereas after semicolons, you never use an uppercase letter unless it's a proper noun.
I tend not to, and we're getting off target, off topic of Latin abbreviations, but I tend not to capitalize after a colon. Is it ever wrong not to capitalize after a colon?
Yeah, I think it is if it's an independent clause. If
Really?
If it's a sentence, yeah.
Okay.
Now, after a semicolon, you never capitalize unless it's a proper noun, like I or pronoun.
Fair enough. Got it. Good. Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome.